Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Well, I have an announcement to make today. There is going to be a tiny house festival in Scottsdale, Arizona in December, and I'm going to be speaking there. I will be the keynote speaker, and I'm really excited about that. I've always loved the idea of a tiny house, and I know a lot of you came to me because you were originally searching for tiny house on YouTube. And YouTube sent my channel to you, and you saw the advantages and disadvantages, and you started following me. So I know there's a big interest out there in tiny houses, so I thought you might like to come and hear me speak at TinyFest Southwest. That's the name of the festival, TinyFest Southwest. It will be in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is part of Phoenix Metro. So if you head towards Phoenix, you'll get there. And on December 3rd and 4th. Now, that's when a lot of us are getting down into the desert Southwest or are already in the area. And so I think it's a perfect time for you to think about coming to see this TinyFest. Now, how much does it cost? That's what a lot of you are going to be thinking. And so let me give you the prices. For one day, it's December 3rd and 4th. For one day, either day, your choice, it's $20 plus $2.37 for a fee that goes to the owner of the property, which is Westworld. So you're going to Westworld in Scottsdale, Arizona. And also, there's a $10 fee for parking. That also goes to Westworld. None of that goes to the owners and the managers of the TinyFest Southwest. So the total cost for one day will be $32 and some change, $32.50, something like that. So that's for one day. Now, if you want to go both days, it's $25 plus $10 for the parking fee, so that's $35, and then another approximately $3 fee for buying the ticket, I guess. So that's going to make it about $38 to go to both. And so, you know, the price is so close, I'd probably pay for both unless you know you're not going. And just see them both and come back. And at any rate, I hope you'll come and see me speak. I'm really looking forward to speaking. I have a heart for tiny houses, and I know a lot of you do. I've heard a lot of you say, I went to YouTube and I started searching on tiny houses, and they started showing me your videos. I thought that was really weird, but the more I looked at it, the more I saw the connection between tiny houses and living in a car, van, or RV. They really are very intertwined. They're a very, very similar idea. So, and the great news is, I've been to these festivals before, these tiny house festivals. I went to the TinyFest Northwest and I spoke there. This was probably 5 years ago, I don't remember. At least 5 years ago. And it's all kinds of vehicles. In fact, the owner of the TinyFest festivals lives full-time in a schoolie. She's a nomad herself. And so she considers a schoolie to be a tiny house. So what exactly is the definition of tiny house? So I think if you're really strict, it's a stick frame construction under 400 square feet on a piece of land. I mean, if that's really strict on the definition, but who am I to define for you what a tiny house is, and who are you, someone else, to define for me? We all get to make our own definition. You know, I'm standing here in front of my ambulance, and as far as I'm concerned, an ambulance is a tiny house. As far as I'm concerned, a tiny house can be on one end of the spectrum, a Prius, and I know a lot of people living in Priuses. As far as I'm concerned, that's a tiny house. And all the way up to the nicest cabin, under 400 square feet, that's generally accepted, under 400 square feet. Some people are now saying 600 square feet. I like the definition of under 400 square feet. But again, you can make your own definition. Who am I to tell you, define things to you? You're your own adult. You're free to make any decision you want. So I think of it as 400 feet and less, square feet and less. It doesn't need to be on a piece of land. It can be on wheels. The wheels can be a vintage trailer. It can be a fifth wheel travel trailer, ambulance, or just a good old-fashioned car or a van. It could be whatever you define it as. Of course, a lot of people are now defining schoolies as tiny houses. And so you're going to see all of that, the whole gamut, except for houses attached to the land. You won't see any of those because they got to drive them in and drive them out. This is an event space that we're going to. So you'll see them all except for that there. And whatever your interest is, you will find it covered. You will find information. Of course, there will be a lot of classes and a lot of houses set up. There will be a little village set up, and that's going to be all cars, vans, RVs, and schoolies, and step vans, and box vans, and every kind of thing you can think of. And those are open to tour, so you can take a lot of tours, and then there will be a lot of traditional tiny houses on wheels that you can see, and builders. A lot of builders, both for vans, cars, RVs, schoolie builders, they'll be there, tiny house builders, they'll all be there. And you can talk to them and get information, get their cards if you're looking for someone to do a build for you. So whatever you're looking for, it will be there, and stuff you want to see, I think you will all enjoy it. I hope you'll come on December 3rd and see me speak at 1 o'clock. And I'd be glad to meet you there and visit with you before and after. I will be there and just taking the classes myself. I'm going to make a kind of a subtle shift on the channel, never to leave extreme budget van life. That's my niche, extreme budget nomadic living. That's my primary niche. I'll never leave that. But I do want to include more tiny houses because I know so many of you were interested in them. You know, a few months back, I put out a video on the piece of land I bought. And I think that that is one way that tiny houses can really fit into our nomadic lifestyle. A lot of us are asking ourselves, what am I going to do when I get older and I'm not that far away now and I can no longer be on the road? That is an important question to ask. And so that's why I bought a piece of land. That was a lot of the reasons I bought a piece of land, that when I have to, I can, and my plan is either to buy a schoolie and put it on the land, or a Connex, a container, and turn that into a tiny house, or just go down to Home Depot and buy a shed. I think sheds, and there are some really primo shed manufacturers around, and every town has a shed manufacturer, it seems like, and just drop a shed on it. So we're going to be doing a lot of videos on that. People who are buying sheds, or we're making tiny houses they're living in to put on a piece of land, and that's their retirement home. It's their home base. So I'm looking for one near a major town where I can get my health care. You know, I'm older and I need more and more health care. I see a doctor once a year at minimum now because I want to take care of myself and live old and good health. And part of that's seeing a doctor and nipping problems in the buds before they can become big problems. So I want to have a tiny house on a piece of land near somewhere where I can have a doctor, and Cody can have a vet, and, you know, somewhere near all those types of things. And I just think that's a good idea for all of us to be thinking now, kind of a plan, a long-range plan for our future. So I think there's a lot of reasons why you and us as nomad van lifers, whether you're on an extremely tight budget or you have extra money to play with, either way, you can do tiny house living on the side. So we're going to talk a lot more about putting tiny houses on a piece of land as a home base, or just tiny houses in general. Okay, so I hope to see you at TinyFest Southwest, December 3rd at 1 o'clock. Prices will range from about $25 to $38. So I hope to see you there. We'll spend some time together, and it'll be a great time. Okay, if you got anything out of this video, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll see you later. Bye now.